And your college professors do not care. They're not trying to stay on top of you and babysit your ass and Hey, what's up you guys? Welcome back to my channel. I'm Alexis. If you guys are new here, make sure to subscribe and stick around for more videos like this. Today I'm going to talk about all things college. I'm going to tell you guys things that I wish I knew before I went to college, and trust me, there is a lot of things that I wish I would have known, and I want to share those tips with you guys. I want to give my best advice. I think I have a good amount of experience. I am graduated now, graduated in December, and I feel like I've had a lot of time to reflect on the do's and don'ts of college. And I want to give that advice that I wish I would have had before going to college to you guys. And just a little background on myself. I went to the University of Arizona. I am from Tucson, so I stayed in state, and I love the University of Arizona. I love a big state school. I love being able to go to football games, go to basketball games, all that fun stuff. And overall, I had a really great college experience, so I really enjoyed going there. I ended my college career with a double major in communication and Spanish, and then a minor in business administration. So that's what I ended up graduating with. It took me a long time to get there, to figure out what I wanted to do. So I feel like I have a lot of advice and a lot of tips for you guys on how to make the most out of your college experience. So that being said, starting off with choosing your major. This is a big one. I know it's really hard to figure out what you want to do with your life. You are so young when you go into college. If you go right after high school, typically you're like 18 to 19 years old. How are you supposed to have it all figured out? I don't know. I sure did not. I definitely recommend, before figuring everything out, doing a lot of research on what exactly you want to do. That's something I didn't really do as much of. I was set on doing nursing, and I was mostly wanting to do that because I knew it was a stable career, and my parents really wanted me to do that as well. They're like, you're gonna make good money, it's gonna be stable, there's always jobs for nursing. Obviously, you need nurses, you need doctors. So that is what I was going to do. I was set on doing nursing. Every time I would talk to counselors, I was like, I'm doing nursing, I'm doing nursing. And I did no research at all. And that was a big mistake on my part. I was just kind of blinded by this fact that I was going to have this stable career, and listening to my parents tell me, this is a great path, this is going to be good for you, you are very caring, you're going to do great in nursing. And I'm like, yeah, I am caring, I like helping people, I'm going to kill it in nursing. And all throughout high school and middle school, science was always my favorite subject. I always did really well in science courses. I took AP courses and honors in high school for all my sciences, and I did really well in them. So I was like, yeah, I'm gonna be great at it. Wrong. College is way different, and I went to a college prep high school, and let me tell you, it was still really hard. As soon as I got to college, I was like, whoa, I'm stressed. So I definitely recommend just looking into the courses that you have to take for the major that you're thinking about. Make sure that it's something you really want to do. Just make sure that you're doing all the research, talking to different people, different career paths, getting advice from different people. Don't just be set on one specific thing. It's okay to go in undecided. So many people do that, and so many people graduate with something that they didn't even want to graduate in. They just graduated with it, you want to study something that you enjoy, not be miserable. So that being said, on top of choosing your major, you have to choose your classes when you get to college. And one of my biggest tips is to use Rate My Professor. I'm sure all of you guys know about that by now, But I didn't really know about that when I was a freshman in college. So I signed up for all of these classes, not even caring about the teacher or anything. And let me tell you, that is not the smart thing to do. You want to make sure you're getting on Rate My Professor, looking them up, because some of these professors have the worst possible score, and most of the time they end up being so true. And you can really gauge a class and the way it's going to be based off of Rate My Professor. I have found it's really a beneficial tool to know what you can expect from a class and a professor. And sometimes the best professors are early in the morning. Most of those good professors you're gonna find are teaching their classes at 8 a.m., 9 a.m. And I know that can be early, like you don't really want to take an 8 a.m. in college. You want to be free, you want to sleep in, but trust me, taking that 8 a.m. class with that good professor makes all the difference in the world. And I did not learn that until second semester freshman year is when I started really using Rate My Professor, and it helped tremendously being able to look at what people were saying. And that being said, you also want to make sure that at the end of your course and the end of the semester, you are also filling out that Rate My Professor, because you want to help out other students as well. Because like I said, it's a very beneficial tool, but only when people are filling out stuff on their professor. So that is definitely a big tip of mine. Make sure that you're utilizing Rate My Professor. And also, I would say that if you are undecided and you don't really know what you want to do, even if you have a major and you're dead set on what you want to do, I definitely recommend taking some of your courses at a community college. Depending on where you're going to college, you can look up different community colleges around the area and sign up for different classes and still take classes at the university, being a full-time student at the university, but also taking classes at a community college. And that's something that I did not do and I did not take advantage of, and I should have, because I definitely should have taken my math classes and my science classes at a community college and not at the university, because that hurt my GPA like no other, because I did so bad in those classes. They were just so hard for me. And I was one of those students in high school where I didn't really have to try that hard and I would be good at what I was doing. I would get it, it would click. And as soon as I got to college, zip, I didn't understand anything, especially in my science and math courses. And I really wish I would have taken them at community college. And hold on. And a big reason that I did not take them at a community college is because I was so set on going to a 4-year university that I could not be bothered with going to a community college. I was like,
I'm not going to a community college.
Like ignorant and just a brat about going to community college, and I should have. I would have saved so much money. I would have saved my GPA that I hurt so severely my first year of college, and it just would have worked out a lot better for me. But I do have to say my high school was very persistent on going to a 4-year university. I'm not sure if other high schools do this, but I know in Arizona and Tucson at least, most high schools don't really say where you're going to college after in the graduation. At the high school that I went to, during graduation, they would say what high school you were going to, what scholarships you got, which they would list all of the colleges that you got accepted to, and how much money, or not how much money, but put if you got some sort of scholarship for it and all that kind of stuff. So it was a lot of pressure to not have the name community college be on that little pamphlet at graduation. As stupid as that sounds, I was dead set on just not going to a community college. I was like, they're not going to say that. I'm going to a community college at the graduation ceremony, which is it's so dumb. But I don't regret going 4 full years to a university because I had the best experience, but I do really wish that I would have taken some classes at a community college because, like I said, it would have helped tremendously. And I do recommend you guys do that. Even if you're going out of state to a 4-year university, like I said, research the community colleges, what credits will transfer to your university, and just take some classes there. You'll save a lot more money and you will thank yourself in the end because it will be a lot easier. At least that's how it is in Arizona. So I definitely recommend that. That is probably my biggest tip when it comes to classes and stuff like that. Just take advantage of those first 2 years where you can kind of mix and match and take classes at the university and take classes at a community college. It is very, very beneficial. Okay, moving on to how to make friends in college. Where do you even start? Where do you meet people? How do you make friends, especially if you're going out of state? And even if you're in state, college is a huge change, and you're going from probably a small high school to a big, huge university with thousands and thousands of students. And most of the time you're in big lecture halls, especially your first year. Those smaller classes will be more of your English classes, math class. Those are typically smaller classroom size, and everything else is a big lecture hall. So it can be pretty difficult to make friends. I had the advantage of living in a dorm freshman year, which was very beneficial. Although me and my roommate did not end up being the best of friends at the end, but I did make so many friends just by living in the dorms. I would meet so many people. All my hallmates were so cool, and I made so many friends that way just living in the dorms because they would have different mixers and stuff like that. And I'm not really good at putting myself out there, but definitely take advantage of those things that are offered to you. It did help me a lot with just getting pushed out of my comfort zone and actually talking to different people. And also in your classes, in those smaller classes, make sure that you're talking to people. Everyone wants to make friends, especially freshman year. Everyone's looking to make friends. Everyone's in the same boat as you, just as nervous as you are and wanting to meet new people. So make sure that you're taking advantage of those smaller class sizes, and when you're put into a group project or sat next to someone, get to know them. Exchange numbers. Be like, oh, do you want to exchange numbers so that if you miss a class, I can let you know, and if I miss a class, you can let me know, type of thing. And that's an easy way to make a connection in a class. When people invite you to things, make sure to go. Take advantage of it. You will be able to weed out who you like hanging out with and who you don't really like hanging out with, and kind of find your group. Because I know not everyone wants to join a frat or a sorority. I didn't join or rush, and that's a big way that people tend to make friends. But I don't think that you necessarily have to do that. There's so many other resources and ways to make friends. Like I said, in your classes, if you live in the dorms, definitely take advantage and meet your hallmates. Go to different events that your dorm holds, and also join clubs. Make sure that you're joining clubs of things that interest you. The university offers so many different clubs, and usually they'll have like club fairs and stuff like that where you can walk around and get to know different clubs and presidents of the clubs and just find your little group. So make sure that you're doing that and taking advantage of those resources. And sometimes you can even start your own club. So if you don't see a group that you really fit in with, maybe start your own club, start your own fraternity, start your own sorority. The opportunities are really endless, and you will find friends. I guarantee you. Just put yourself out there a little bit more, and you'll be able to find friends easily. Obviously nothing comes easy, and making a connection and a friendship with someone takes more than just a few times hanging out, but just by putting yourself out there and talking to different people, those are different ways that you'll be able to meet more people. Because let's say you make a friend in one of your classes and she decides to invite you out to a party or to a study session, and you go to that study session and you suddenly meet a bunch more people, and just by going to that you could have found your best friend in that little group, or that person that invited you could be your next best friend, or could be a great lifelong friend. You never know. So you want to make sure that you're taking advantage of everything. And moving on to college boys and parties. College boys, I wouldn't stress about them too much. I wouldn't put all my eggs in one basket with college boys, because I don't really know what else to say about that. As for parties, again, I'll do another in-depth of college boys and parties in general. I want to do a whole video on it. But just a little brief summary. I think that you just need to be as careful as possible, especially going to frats. You don't want to leave your drink somewhere and then pick it up. You're like,
oh, I left my drink. Let me have it.
No. Don't be picking up drinks that you already put down, and don't have people serve you not in front of your face. If someone is pouring you a drink, you want to make sure that you know where that alcohol is coming from, and you just want to be super careful, because so many bad things can happen. And also, going out with friends, stay together. I cannot tell you how many times I would be out with my friends at a party and we would see this girl just left by herself. Twice freshman year, like my first semester, I had to help 2 different girls whose friends left her by herself, and she was just like on the floor freaking belligerent and couldn't even like speak words. Like, it's insane. Don't leave your friends. Make sure that everyone's accounted for. You want to be there for each other. You don't want something bad to happen and have your friend be by themselves. It's not right. You want to make sure that you're all together and being safe, because a lot of bad things can happen. College parties, at the bar, anywhere where there's drinking and alcohol involved, you want to be as careful as possible, because I know I have put myself in some awful situations. So just take note of that and be safe and be smart. Alright, the final topic of this video. I want to talk about how you balance social life, school, working. How do you do it? The answer is time management is essential, ladies and gentlemen, because if you do not have time management and organization skills, you are going to just plummet. You want to make sure that you have a planner. A big tip of mine is to, at the beginning of the course of the semester, make sure that you're printing out all the syllabi, and just writing down all the important dates, all the important exams in your planner, and taking note of them so that you are staying on top of everything, because sometimes things will catch you off guard and suddenly it's that day that you have to turn in a huge assignment and you didn't do it. And your college professors do not care. They're not trying to stay on top of you and babysit your ass and telling you every single day that an assignment is due. They're just not doing that. They expect that you read the syllabus and you know when everything is due. And if something changes, they will let you know. Obviously, exams are different. Most of the time, professors hold study sessions. They'll hold an entire class period for going over a study guide, so that's a little different. But for homeworks and all that stuff, that they don't care. You have to be on top of your shit and do it yourself, because no one is gonna babysit you. And that's a big thing that I had to deal with freshman year, because I was just like, oh, they're not telling me anything, so I don't know. I was just really not on top of my shit the first semester. I did not expect I knew college was going to be hard, but I just took it a little lightly than I should have. So that's definitely a huge recommendation of mine, is make sure you're staying on top of everything, looking at your syllabus, making sure you know all the important due dates. And also, that being said, you also have to be looking at your grades all the time, because sometimes your professor will put in a 0 and you actually did the assignment. And at the end of the semester, that one assignment could be make or break for your final grade. And you want to make sure that you're taking note of everything that you're turning in, making sure that you have your own copy, you have your own records of the assignment or the project or anything. Just making sure that you're keeping all of that, because professors are not perfect and sometimes they will make mistakes, and that can really cost you your grade if you don't have proof of you actually doing the assignment. So yeah, those are some of my tips on how to get through college. Make sure that you take into consideration all of these tips that I gave you guys. These are definitely things that I wish I would have definitely known before going to college. Leave a comment down below what you guys enjoyed about this video and what other college topics you guys want me to talk about, because I have a lot to say about it. And I really hope that you guys have a great fall semester. If you guys are able to go back to school, make sure you're being safe, wearing a mask, don't have freaking COVID parties, that's stupid. But yeah, I really hope that everyone is able to have a good college year. I know it really sucks. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe, and I will see you guys in my next video. Bye.
She's a Mona Lisa. Everyone's lining